in the building on the back door, man.
There you go.
How you doing?
I'm good by you.
Doing good, man. Long time no see.
Yeah, huh?
A lot of boxing has happened in between the time that we spoken.
Yeah, yeah.
But before that, man, I kind of want to dip into your career for some of my boxing fans that are tapped onto my YouTube channel to give them a little, a little glimpse of what you're all about, who you are, and what you have accomplished in the sport as well. Um,
Okay.
I'll kind of like let the floor. I'll let you do your thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate to talk about myself, but I mean, what do you want? I mean, you know how I am.
Well, I'll
I
start like this. Obviously you're from Mill City, where I'm from,
yeah, yeah,
and like, how'd you even get into the sport? I know your brother
yeah,
fought. Sugar Ray
yeah,
Leonard.
yeah.
Um,
That's how it started with Dickie. Actually, I was like 7, and when he brought me, probably even younger than that, he brought me to the gym, and the gym bag was. It's funny because Arthur Ramalho, who has passed, recently, in the last year or so. He always says the story how I was a little kid, probably like 6, and bringing Dickie's gym bag. I used to hold his gym bag, and it was bigger than me coming up the stairs at the West End in Lowell. And that's where I started. I started at 7 years old. My first fight was the Lynn Harbor House. I fought Freddie Roach's brother Joey.
yeah.
It was like outside, and I got rained out in the second round, so we ended up finishing the fight because it was outside. And but that's where it all started back then, 7 years old.
Talk about your relationship with Freddie Roach.
Freddie, I got a good relationship with him. Actually, my nephew, Dickie's son, my brother Dickie's son, little Dickie.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually Freddie. He's been traveling all over the place now. He's one of Freddie's trainers. Yeah, so he's out there. He's been out in L.A. now with Freddie for like 7 years or so,
Yeah.
maybe more. I'm not really sure. Probably 7, 8 or so. But he's doing good. Freddie's a good friend of mine. I've known Freddie for years. So I've known Freddie since I was like 7. After I fought his brother Joey,
Mm-hmm.
we become good friends. Really, really good friends.
Um, when obviously you accomplished a lot in the sport, and like when people ask, what's your favorite memory of your career, what would you tell them?
Um, Favorite memory, obviously, the Toro Gaddy fight and all that. That was like the highlight. But I think my favorite memory is probably winning that championship in London.
Mm,
It was like a lighter world championship. It's a WVU. It's not like the WBC, WBA, IBF, but it, it was a world title, so I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean that was probably that's something I worked hard for. I mean, no one thought I could do it, especially going over to London and beating an undefeated English guy. From over there, Liverpool, and that's probably like probably my biggest win. But my best win would probably be definitely a Toro Gaddy.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of like pretty much put you in the Hall of Fame picture when it came down to his fights, right?
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, I mean, it'd be great if I ever did, but who knows? You know, that would be nice, but as long as I know in my heart what I did, you know what I mean. That's all that matters. I don't care about being in the Hall of Fame.
What about just knowing that some of those fights that you had were, fight of the decade, like the
Yeah,
decade, not like the night, not the year, none of that, like the decade.
yeah, yeah. See, that's the crazy thing is, for someone that they said was a club fighter or a B level, C level, whatever, you know what I mean. And I did all that, so really, you know what I mean. Like fight of the year, round of the century, supposedly, or that's what they say. Trilogy, best trilogy, one of the top 10 trilogies of all time, one of the best top 10 fights of all time, one of the best top 10 all rounds of all time. I mean, if I would have won probably a few more, I probably maybe would have got in there, but who knows? You know what I mean?
The reason why I ask is because I remember I I was on the phone with Zab Jude on FaceTime, and then I seen you in the bus, and it was like for the Hall of Fame. It was like a Hall of Fame weekend. Do you remember
Oh,
that day?
yeah,
And you're
yeah,
like, "Hey, he's from Lowell." You remember
yeah,
that?
yeah. It was that, yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my guy. That's my
yeah,
guy.
yeah. I'm really good friends with Zab.
He's a good man.
Yeah, he's a really good man.
Hell of a fighter. He was one of the fastest and hardest to hit I've ever fought.
Right, and
And he had some pop in his punch. He buzzed me a few times, but I just kept coming in. But he buzzed me till I got him with that left hook, and I think that's the first time he lost a round in his whole pro career. But
mhm,
yeah, he was a good boxer, man. And he had some pop.
yeah, like obviously you're coming from New England. He was like the best New York prospect coming around from his time.
Yeah,
Having over 200 amateur fights, only losing 5 of them. Gearing up to that fight, right?
yeah,
Talk to me like what goes through your mind? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we got the Red Sox and New York Yankees, thing that we got
yeah,
going
yeah.
on, but this is
True,
boxing.
true.
So
Yeah.
you're the hottest coming from Lowell. Going to
Yeah.
that was in
You know,
Connecticut, right? Mohegan,
no, that was in that
Foxwoods.
fight there was that was in Miccosukee Indian Reservation in Miami.
Oh, in Miami, lit.
Yeah. It was down in Miami. It was 12 rounds for the USBA title,
Hmm.
and Zab's first big really test. And
Exactly.
you know he you know he like I said, I mean he was fast. He was like he just wanted, I'm not saying he wanted it more than me because I wanted it really bad, but he was hungry. You know what I mean? And he did what he had to do. He boxed perfect, punched when he had to punch, and it was just hard getting him. You know what I mean? I caught him with that body shot and it hurt him, but he got on his thing and his bike and ran. And that was the first round he lost in his whole pro career.
He talks about it to this day, Mick. You know what I'm saying about that shot. He's like nobody's ever hit me that hard, and he also says that that was his toughest fight in his career. Uh,
um,
just due to the fact that he was, I think, 19 when he fought you,
yes, yes, yeah.
and like you
Super
said,
fast, man. Super fast, super sharp. Right on point. Hungry. Just coming out of the amateurs. You know what I mean? His first 12 rounder. And I kept trying to cut the ring off, and he just kept moving and moving. What are you gonna do?
right, right. Um, Obviously, being from Mill City, I always hear your name when it comes to boxing. Obviously, it's always going to be like that forever.
Yeah,
Um, in Boston, your name rings bells, but when it comes to the Irish, right? Like
yeah,
how do you get the praise from like the people from the country? Like, do you get that?
yeah. It's funny. It's funny you say that, right? Because I'm like bigger over in Ireland than I'm pretty much here. You know what I mean?
That's
Because
why I
they
thought
don't
about it.
really know me. You know what I mean? They don't really know me, and I'm obviously Irish descent. I'm not from Ireland, but my great grandparents were from County Clare and Cork. So there's like I got more fans over there. I'm not gonna say than the United States, but I have a ton of fans over there. 'Cause I've been over there a couple times. I got an award over there one time in Dublin, and I was over in Rasmuck and Connemara
Mm.
for one time. Yeah, it was beautiful country.
So it felt good.
Yeah, it did. I mean, people are nice, so nice. You know, everyone's happy. Well, I don't know about happy, but they're all drinking, so maybe that's why.
Pretty happy. Pretty happy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool because like whenever you see an Irish prospect or
yeah,
undefeated fighter,
yeah.
or not even they don't even have to be undefeated, but like so many plane tickets coming from the country all the way
Oh
to the
shit, yeah,
United States.
they do. Like you said, like Ireland, they follow like there's a kid that Colin Walsh that Freddie Roach trains. Is that his name?
Yep.
That kid's the real deal. That kid is the real deal, and they follow him like that. They come over in like
Yeah.
groves. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They like they. There's like more people in the stands like when they fought here in New England.
Mm-hmm.
When they fought in what was it, New Hampshire? Right?
Nah, didn't they fight up in the in
Oh, I'm
Boston?
sorry. I'm sorry. In Boston. I'm sorry. Yeah, Boston.
You're talking about that Demetrius
No, no,
Andre
that
fight.
yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was thinking about that, but no, he fought at the Garden, the last show with Dana White.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
And
that fight that you're speaking upon with Demetrius Andrade was kind of the fight marquee fight for me when I started seeing how many Irish men went to New England, well to
yeah,
New Hampshire to fight, and it was Demetrius Andrade's big fight, and it happened to be that it was more Irish in the building than actually
right.
I think he's a Caucasian or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
He's obviously a world champion coming from our way, and
right,
yeah, that's a big thing. That's why I always wanted to ask you. Is like,
right. Yeah, no, what's funny is Demetrius is like from here. Obviously, this kid's come from Ireland. He's Irish descent. I mean, he's from Ireland, and I'm Irish, but that don't matter. I mean,
yeah,
listen, no respect, but Demetrius is my friend. He's my guy. I was for him all along. Nothing against the Irish kid, but I'm not gonna just because I'm Irish. I'm not going for him.
that's that
That's
Mill
my buddy.
City.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember fighting in the Golden Gloves, and like I was in the same tournament, same weight class as him.
Oh
Um,
man,
yeah, I
he
remember
was
that was.
nasty in the amateur. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, he was,
As
and
a
I
pro too, but I mean, like,
yeah,
that's the one kid that can fight.
yeah, absolutely. He got a big fight coming up supposedly in November with the Mexican Monster,
Oh, who's that?
David Benavidez.
Oh, ooh, that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah,
David's a big guy.
yep,
David's a big guy. He's a big puncher too. But Demetrius is a lefty. He has a style that could, you know what I mean? His style
complicated.
is. I put him with against anybody.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm not saying he would beat David or David would beat him. Who knows? Anything can happen. But I put him with anybody.
yeah. And that fight that we were talking about in New Hampshire, that was with Jason Quigley, the
Yes, yes,
Irishman.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, but speaking upon that fight, obviously you
yeah.
know a little bit about Demetrius' style, southpaw. What do they call that? When they call someone that's kind of awkward, what they say he's an
Yeah,
awkward fighter.
yeah,
Um, when you say you put him in there with anybody, this is his second fight at 168 pounds, coming
yeah.
from like 154. Do you feel like his power would translate from from
See,
that
that's
weight
the
class?
thing, right? That's the thing. You would think so, but when you're fighting a natural guy at 168, he's probably coming down from like 90 or something. You know what I mean? David's a big kid, and I like David too. David's a really nice guy. You know what I mean? But Boo's my guy. You know what I mean? I gotta go with Boo Boo, but it's gonna be a good fight. You
Yeah,
know, if he says if he moves, he fights smart. He can frustrate him. You know what I mean? He can. We'll see. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a good fight because you
he's
can look at it a bunch of different ways. You know what I mean? David putting pressure on him, David too big, too strong, whatever. But Boo's been tagged before. You know what I mean? He got a good chin, and he can fight. And that's the thing is, he's a dog in there when he gets in there.
hmm I mean, it seemed to me it was like kind of a shocker for you when I said that that's his upcoming fight, because when we talk about fighting, marquee names are important. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
this is basically his biggest fight of his career. I mean, there's been a lot of hype from the kid from the amateurs. He's
Hmm.
also a multi-division champion, but in the
Yeah.
same token, it's like people want to know: is he all hype, or this is the
Right.
test? What do you
No,
think?
I
You
don't.
know what I'm
I
saying?
don't think he's all hype. I don't think he's all hype at all. You don't win a world championship and then being undefeated by being lucky or whatever. You know what I mean? People just want to hate on it because he's not. Probably he doesn't. People don't want to. One thing too, a lot of guys don't want to fight him because he's a lefty and he's good and he can fight. So it's all, you know what I mean. So a lot of people say, "Oh, well, he's too awkward. He's this, that, and you know what I mean." No, I think he's got a good style. That style works for him.
Hmm
I mean, some people want to like it, but if it works for him, what the hell? He's the one fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Some people in the comment box here, they're saying, how does it uh how does he feel about Zab Judah? I'll go through the line and stuff like that. How do you
How
feel
do I
about that?
feel? Zab was a great fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think he
Um,
should get in the Hall of Fame one of these
yeah,
days, definitely.
yeah. Like they got him in certain like states.
I know, but I'm saying the big one.
Yeah, Nevada is it Nevada that you
No,
talking
no,
about?
Canastota,
Canastota. I
New
think he
York.
might
Yeah.
get elected next year. That's he told me he got
Well,
the
yeah.
phone call.
Hopefully,
Yeah, hopefully.
he
Um,
gets my vote.
yeah, yeah. Uh, salute to Tommy Graham. Salute Mill City. Salute the legend Mickey Ward. Uh,
Yeah,
Larry Liston, what a legend. Larry Liston says, I got a question, Mickey.
yeah,
You fought a name, Emmanuel Augustus.
yeah. Wow.
How was that experience?
That was one of my toughest fights ever too. Honestly, actually, when I fought him, his name was Emmanuel Burton at the time, but
Mm,
I think he took his mother's name, maiden name. I don't know what it was, but he became Emmanuel Augustus. But that kid there, believe me, and he was never like one like someone to train hard. If he ever trained as hard, because the talent he had, if he ever trained hard, he'd be a world champion. Easy. He always took fights on freaking 2 days' notice, 1 day notice, a week's notice. But he was if I didn't knock him down in the ninth round, I think it would have been a draw. Or I would have lost probably. It was that close. They gave
mm.
me a unanimous decision, but it was closer than that. Yeah.
Let's bring it way back. Let's bring it to Sugar Ray Leonard and Dickie.
Oh
Just
boy.
just just knowing that. Like how old were you when that was happening?
I think when I fought, that was 12, I believe. Yeah, 78. Yeah.
Did you did you know about the hype of Sugar Ray Leonard at the time?
Oh yeah, 100%. I was fighting back then. I just lost in the silver mitten finals that year, 78. I think I was 13, 12, whatever. But yeah, I lost in the silver mitten final. So I was already fighting. I knew Leonard and coming out of the Olympics 76, I know he's a great fighter. And I knew Dickey was a great fighter too, but and Dickey getting in a motorcycle accident like friggin' he went to the press conference on crutches for that fight. You know that?
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he went to the press conference in crutches and Sugar Ray looking, going, "I'm fighting this guy."
Yo,
Yeah,
that's
and
crazy.
he got a motorcycle accident. I think was in like May or something like that. Yeah, and or April, whatever it was, I don't know. And then he got a motorcycle at the beach, but he ended up fighting him. He gave him a good fight. You know, obviously like Ray won or whatever, but he handled himself good. He never
That's a
trained. I think he was like a Burton. He never trained.
that's
That natural
amazing.
talent.
Natural talent, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that's a story though. You know, just to know that mostly every today's fighter, when you talk about who's your favorite fighter, they normally say Sugar Ray Leonard or Mayweather. Like it's like
Yeah,
one
yeah,
or two type of a deal.
yeah,
And to know that Dickie came in there with crutches on the press conference is pretty
yeah, yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
um,
Figures, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
it goes to show you the grit, though, right? At the
No,
same time.
right, yeah. But when he got in there, he was a boxer and stuff, but he had a lot of heart. He won't give up.
Yeah, that's a crazy. I still remember that documentary movie about Dickie. That's what in the comments here. Now let's go into you know Mark Wahlberg, your relationship with him, filming the fighter, and I was watching a movie with him that he just did. And he looks so good hitting, like he looks smooth, like you
Yeah,
trained him very well.
yeah, he does. It's funny because Mark has a gym at his house, a beautiful gym at his house, and he trains hard. You know what I mean? He like takes boxing like serious. You know what I mean? He can fight. He can throw his hands.
How long did it take for you to work with Mark? And was it like in the West End gym back in those days when you first, he first laced him up, or was he into boxing before that?
No, he wasn't. He never. I don't know if he ever boxed, but he used to love boxing. And I guess I never knew he was a fan of mine. And he had told me, I never knew that. But Obviously he's from Dorchester. You know,
How
um,
green was he, Mick?
oh no, he was good. He wasn't really green. You know what I mean? He just had to like, just basically worked on the punches that I throw the most, which is obviously a left hook to the body. Tap to the head, hook to the body, and different things. We got down, and and he's still with me, and like we talked all the time, and like he'd watch my mannerisms with Dickie, him and Christian, and that's how they got to like really like Christian Bale like nailed Dickie like crazy. You know what I mean? Obviously he won an Academy Award, but he they were both great actors. They both studied me and Dickie. Even when me and Dickie were just talking to each other, they'd be looking at us like just watching our mannerisms and things like that, like how we moved and like how we talked with each other and all that.
Perfecting their craft.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So he's like, Mark's like, he worked very hard. He's one of the hardest workers in Hollywood. You know what I mean? And it shows.
Yeah, man. That's amazing.
Christian Bale too. He's like crazy. He played Dickie better than Dickie plays himself, if that's possible.
Right, right, right.
Right. Yeah.
Um, in other words, too, like, are we getting another fighter? Like, do you think
I
is
don't
there
know,
a
man.
thought?
Mark talked about it with the trilogy of me and Toro, and he wanted to do it, but then yeah, and then timing's got to be right. I believe in it. And I guess um, you got to get all the people back or whatever. So I don't. Let's talk about it. So hopefully, I mean that's where I made my mark with Gaddy. You know what I mean? So hopefully, the story of us, our friendship, and how crazy fights, and we became great friends, and I ended up training him at the end of his career. That's the real Rocky thing. You know what I mean? In real life, not on TV, but
I mean, when we talk about like if you had to like help out, obviously you got to help out by describing the story, right? Um,
right, yeah.
like, is it in your eyes the trilogy does it play way better than the first fighter? Like, would it
Oh
be?
well, you don't know. I mean, no, the first fighter was excellent. You know what I mean? It was great. But what was great about it, like, was the woman loved it because of the mother, the sisters. You know what I mean? Women enjoyed it. It wasn't just like a regular boxing movie and just two guys fighting or whatever. It was more family orientated. You know what I mean? Like the sisters and my
They had
mother.
the slang on Smash too. The slang, the ahs that we do in Mill City. The ah, like, yeah, whatever, y'all.
Ah,
Like, yeah,
yeah, yeah. Butter.
get over here.
Get over here. Give me the butter.
The butter.
What the
Yeah.
hell, butter? Park
Yeah, the
car.
podcast.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
I enjoyed that. So tell me,
yeah,
like, obviously it would be different. And when we look at all these other boxing movies, like we got,
yeah.
George Foreman, they just popped out with George Foreman.
Yeah, I
Yeah, the
seen that.
Ali.
That
It
was
was good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
My
Big
thing is,
George.
we would probably see more boxing in this one. There's three of them. Um,
Right.
but
Well, I
let's
think
be
so. I
honest.
think it'd be more so the fights, and I think it'd be that friendship and all that. Obviously we weren't friends when we were fighting, but we were like respectable towards each other. But the bond we got from those three fights, and like how you try to kill each other, but then we became best of friends. You know what I mean?
Talk about the bond. Like, if there was some certain pieces in the movie that you would believe that have to be in the movie, what would you say?
Oh, there's a lot. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't really think of the top of my head, but just the respect. I think more so than anything that we had for each other. There was no trash talking. We didn't. We could shake hands and then try to kill each other. You know what I mean? That's just the way we are. We were. You know what I mean? There was no like he's this, he's that. You didn't have to hype the fight up. You know what I mean? So I really don't know. Like there was nothing that he said that I didn't like, or I said that he didn't like. Probably. We just went in there and fought. Because if you're
Right,
gonna hit me, I'm hitting you. Hell with that. You know what I
right,
mean? There's no friends. I don't care who you are.
right, right, right.
Even my
And
brother Dickie, I try to kill him.
would would Gotti come to Lowell at all, or would you mean that guys normally like? Oh, you went black. Mickey, come in and out real quick, cause you
Oh,
went pitch black.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
sorry.
It
Let me
happens.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, just get off the room, get out the room, and go right back in, and I'll tap you back in.
How do you do that?
I think it's like
Sorry.
I think you can say leave. It says leave on it. There's some buttons there that you can say leave, or you could go press the X in the top.
Oh yeah, it says cancel, leave.
Yeah, and then
All
you
right,
can
I'm gonna leave. Right, I'm gonna grab my charges to throw right on. Okay.
sounds
I
good.
don't have to cut off. All
All
right,
right, cool.
bud.
Sounds
I'll
good.
give you back. All right, bye.
There you goes. There you guys have it. It's Mill City Boxing, and there's no Mill City Boxing without Micky Ward, man. He where he started boxing is where I started boxing in the West End gym. Um, he's obviously an Irish legend, a Massachusetts legend. You know, all around boxing legend, if you really think about it, with three magnificent fights of Gotti and Micky Ward. Everybody knows about those fights. Those are the fights of the decade, all three of them. Um, Huge. When we talk about boxing in the, I would like to say, early '90s, we talk about Micky Ward. Um, he worked my corner in the amateurs for one of my fights. He's like a brother to me, and we share the same first name. Um, but nevertheless, guys, smash the like button. My man Mickey will be coming in here. We're going to be adding all these fight predictions, and some fight reactions upon what he's thinking about what's today's happening in boxing. Didn't want to jump right into the juice because I wanted to respect his career in the same time and really get, for the viewers that are just getting into boxing that maybe not know who Micky Ward is. So, nevertheless, Mickey, they gave him a movie called The Fighter. It was a great movie. Mark Wahlberg played him, um, and his brother was also in the movie. It was a great movie. Mickey Ward also is great friends with Mike Tyson. He had a great career, and in the same time, one of the most devastating left hooks to the body, which is his signature punch. Fought guys like Emmanuel Augustus, Zab Judah, and the most notable name, Arturo Gatti. Um, Once again, he's from where I'm from, Mill City, which is Lowell, Massachusetts. Make sure you guys smash the like button. We're giving you guys legends. We're giving you guys the boxes you see on TV, but in the same time, we bring it back to y'all. Because when you go into the roots, there's nothing less. There's nothing better than that, and there's nothing richer than the roots. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys smash the like button. This is Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media, the fighters platform. Mickey's not really used to me talking about him and his career. He's normally me talking about other people's career, prospects, contenders of today. And we're going to be getting right into that. You know, make sure you guys line up all the questions in the comment box. I salute to everybody that has jumped on and showed love to Mill City Boxing. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, appreciation button. Um, and legends like this come once in a lifetime. Um, you know, there's not going to be another Micky Ward, which I say. You know what I'm saying? I'll get into some of the comments here. Here he is. He's back. George in the building.
Hey, I got all these things up here. Oh,
Yeah.
it's gone. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry
Nah,
about that.
man. You're good. You're good, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate your time, bro.
Nah,
Um,
no.
Nevertheless, I don't want to keep you blushing upon your career. I know you don't like talking about too much of your career, but it was
Right.
a good one.
Yeah. Let me get a light on here for you. I can't even see. All right,
Even
but sorry.
even better, even better.
Yeah.
That way the visuals perfect.
Wherever it is. What the hell? There we go.
There we go.
Better?
That's better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So Mick, you know, the big fight just happened
yeah,
last month. I got your prediction, and you didn't really know where to lean to because these fighters were so good. They were so neck and neck when it comes to Spence and Crawford. But
yeah,
but the next thing you know it, Crawford shocks the world and made it
yeah,
basically his hardest fight was his easiest fight of his career.
yeah.
What's your reactions to that?
It just shows you like what he. I think of all the things, it shows you how much he puts into it that people probably didn't realize. When Bomac did, you know what I mean, had him ready, you know what I mean, and that guy's a hell of a trainer, you know what I mean. People got to give him credit for obviously he had he has talent and all that, and he can fight, but I mean, you need a great corner, man, and Bomac did a great job, you know what I mean, and but Crawford, he stepped up. He stepped up big time, you know. And he fought great. He fought great, and Spence, the weight cut maybe hurt him. You know what I mean? Maybe he has to go up, but hey, it's a fight. You lose a fight. It doesn't matter about weight or whatever. You know what I mean? You signed the fight, and whatever happened happened. But he just fought great that night. You know what I mean? And that was his night. You know what I mean? He can fight. That kid is phew, great fighter. I
Absolutely.
love that kid fighting, man. He can fight.
Yeah, man. Can switch, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
got power in both hands,
hmm
fast.
And he's got a
Uh,
chin.
yeah.
Some guys like he get tapped. You know what I mean? Some guys like he's been hit by good fighters. You know what I mean? And it's almost like he didn't get hit because he never really got hurt. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen him hurt at all. Have you?
He's gotten tested by like Gamboa, Mean Machine.
Yeah, he's
and
gotten tested, but he's never been hurt. I never really think
You
he
know
got
what it
hurt.
is? You're right. Because at the end of the day, it's like just because you get dropped doesn't mean that you're hurt.
No, right, right. I mean, there might be a flash knockdown or whatever. Yeah, but that does happen or whatever.
You're
That
right.
doesn't mean you're hurt. Like because I've been hurt standing up more than did when I got knocked down. When I get knocked down, I get up and it was like nothing. When I got hit with a few times I got hit and I was standing up, I was thought I was in Canterbury Lake Park on a roller coaster.
It's true. It's true. I like that one. I like that one. So,
Right.
um, leading up to this fight, right? Obviously, obviously, like now he wants to do the rematch right away. Spence.
hmm
Uh, in your opinion, like, do you believe that he should rematch right away? Should he tune up? Like, what do you think?
Well, it all depends on what Terrence Crawford's going to do. Is he going to let him give him a rematch, or
Yeah,
is there a rematch clause maybe? Or
there
I
is.
don't know. I think it'd be probably. I mean, I think he should get a good couple wins under or win or whatever, and then maybe come back. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I would want the rematch being a fighter. You lose, in that fashion to someone. That's you know being like never he's undefeated. You know what I mean? So kind of hurt him a lot like that. But maybe it'd be good to have a fight or two. But then maybe he doesn't want to fight or two, whatever. So yeah, I mean, whatever he thinks, he knows what's best for him. But me personally, I don't know. I don't know. I'd probably get a nice win and stay in the gym and like get my weight down and be strong. You know what I mean? Instead of like you know coming back this fight here, maybe he's a little heavy now. Maybe cutting weight or whatever again. I don't know. Maybe if you fought it, his weight would be down. Then go into training camp with your weight down, so you don't have to lose that much. Maybe I don't know.
In your opinion, was there something wrong with Errol Spence? Like he wasn't like himself, or it happened to be that certain fighter made him react the way he reacted? In your eyes,
I just think it was Terrence Crawford. I mean, that was his night. You got to give him credit. He fought his ass off. He did what he had to do. Tutton, I take nothing away from Spence because he's a great fighter also, and just in that wasn't his night, and that's it. You know what I mean? It was just Terrence Crawford was that good.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
It'd be hard to beat him being at your best. Whatever.
Yep, 100%. Now, Mickey, what weight did you start your career, your professional career?
Oh, I was 140 my whole career.
Okay. So you never entered welterweight. You was a straight 140 pounder. You fought.
Yeah,
I remember you fought Zab at 142. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Talk to me, man. Like when it comes down to moving up weight classes, I know you haven't like specifically did it in your career,
Right,
but we had Terrence Crawford here that has said that he would like the winner of Canelo Alvarez and
right.
Canelo Alvarez versus Jamel Charlo. What do you think about that matchup?
Uh,
It's a lot of
Canelo.
weight. That's three
Yeah,
divisions.
yeah. That'd be a good fight. Yeah, because Charlo can fight. He's a big guy, but Canelo's fought a lot of big guys. You know what I mean? He can adapt. I don't know. That'd be a tough fight for Charlo. Obviously, be a great fight for him. I mean, he wants to test himself. There's a fight. You know what I mean? Taking that away from Charlo. Both the brothers are great fighters. It'd be a good fight. It'd be a good fight. 100%.
What do you think about Terrence Crawford saying he wants the winner of that fight, though? Did you hear that?
That's a little too. I don't know. I think you're jumping too high there. You know what I mean?
That's three divisions. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always look at it like I don't know how true I think this is, but I think a good little man ain't gonna beat a good big man. You know what I mean? I don't know. I could be wrong. Hey, I've been wrong a hell of a lot in picking. You know what I mean? But I don't know why I don't. I could see maybe him like one of them coming down and him going up, maybe a catch weight, but going up that high, I don't know. I think that'd be tough.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it will be real tough,
Yeah,
just because Canelo has been acclimated, got all the straps at that weight
right,
class. He's been pretty much the king of that weight class for a year and a half now.
right, exactly.
Um,
Sorry.
but nevertheless, we got before we get into like all that. I remember you mentioned about Bomac. Did you hear that? He got locked up over there in the UK.
Yeah, I seen, I read that or heard that. Yeah, that's
Crazy, huh?
crazy. What's that?
It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like they don't play no games when it comes to guns over there. Like they talking five
No,
years,
no, no. That's no. They don't play like that over there. You know what I mean? It's especially coming from another country.
right?
If you're like from over there, it's one thing, but when you're coming from another country, no, they don't play with that. You know what I mean?
Nah, man.
Yeah,
You're good friends with Dana White.
yeah.
Uh, what you think about Jake Paul specifically? Training with boxers, coaches to the likes of Sugar Shane Mosley started him off,
Hmm.
getting the feel of what a real boxer goes through, and
Yeah.
challenging the UFC to a boxing match, and to create all these big numbers that's happening.
Right. I mean, what's crazy about like Jake Paul is everyone says, "Oh, he's not a this that." That kid, I'll give him one thing. He trains his ass off. He respects boxing because he trains very hard. You know what I mean? He might be. People might think he's arrogant, or whatever, and yeah, he might be. But he's bringing a whole new dynamic to boxing, like a whole new set of eyes, like and people, like YouTubers. You know what I mean? Like all like watching him, and he's selling arenas out crazy. You know what I mean? Like he's almost, I mean, people. I don't know if they want to see him get knocked out or they want to see him win. You know what I mean? But he can fight. Hey, he trains hard. But again, he hasn't really fought anyone that's been younger or sharp or though. But he's got to if he wants to stay in box, you got to step it up. You know what I mean?
Hey, Mick, press that X again because you went blank, and then come right back in.
Oh man, yeah.
Make sure you guys smash the like button. Let's get to 10. Let's get to 10. Let's get to 10. Let's get to 20. Let's get to 10 and let's get to 20. You already know, ladies and gentlemen, this is Millcity Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media. Got the one and only, the legendary, Micky Ward. Happens to be every single time someone gets a phone call, they definitely got to fix that glitch in YouTube. Sorry about that, Mick. They gotta fix. They gotta fix that glitch on YouTube. I gotta tell you. So we got to fight. What you think about so now you talked about the Jake Paul. He not really fighting anybody yet.
Right.
Um is him and Dana really got like real tension?
Probably because Dana's like, you know, probably I don't know. Dana's my buddy. You know what I mean? I don't know. Probably. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think they're at each other or whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, I stay out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
No,
Facts.
I don't know.
Um what you think about Fury versus that UFC and Gandu, one of the best heavyweights in the
Yeah,
UFC versus the
I
best
mean he
heavyweight?
has a puncher's chance. Anyone does at heavyweight, especially him, Gondo there. But I don't see it. I don't care. I'm not trying to put it that down, but I don't see him beating Tyson Fury. I mean, like I said though, anybody can get caught, but I don't see it. Tyson Fury, don't forget, he's like 6'9". He can punch. He's thin, but he can punch. He doesn't look like he's in the best of shape, but he's in shape.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the heart of a lion. He's got the chin. He goes down. He went down, but he pops back up like a jack in the box. You know what I mean? I don't see Francis beating him.
Now, there's a rematch clause. What do you think about like him and Usyk? Like, do you think he's avoiding him, or do you think it's just a
Uh,
business move?
nah, I don't think he's avoiding him. It's money, probably. You know what I mean? Why? He's probably knows he's coming to the end of his career. Why not make the big money when he can make it? You know what I mean? And it's respectful because he fought everyone he's supposed to fight. What people saying? He fought everyone. He fought Deontay, one of the best heavyweights of our generation, Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? Great fighter. You know what I mean? He beat him a couple, two or three times. What did he fight him? Three times, twice.
Three.
He had a trilogy. Yeah. Beat him. You know what I mean? It was like a draw. Oh, he lost the
First one
first
was the
one.
draw.
Yeah, draw. I'm sorry, a draw, and then I won the last two. But he's used to fighting big punches. Come on, you know what I mean? He's used to fighting those big fights. The other guy ain't. He might be great in the octagon. Now you put him in the octagon, I don't see Tyson Fury going the distance with him. You know what I mean? But
Right.
in the ring, come on, I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think. I think Fury's gonna be way too much for him. That's
What do
just
you,
that's just my opinion. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, no. I think I actually share the same opinion. I mean, we've seen a lot of these guys pick on each other. We've
Yeah.
seen Conor McGregor and Mayweather
Yeah.
and how lopsided that was, and
Right.
You know, the only thing that I didn't did, I seen Roy Jones fight Anthony Pettis though, and Anthony Pettis actually beat him.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Sorry, man.
some people don't
Yeah.
believe. Some people believe that Roy Jones should have won that fight though, but that's like that. And then we also seen Anderson Silver beat one of the Chavezes.
Yeah, well, come on. I mean, that's you're talking like a whole different ball game. Honestly, you know what I mean. You're talking a different. No, there's no way. I don't care what. Tyson Fury is not like them. You know what I mean. And
Hmm.
nothing against them, great fighters, but nah, hell no.
What do you think about him and Usyk though? That's
Usyk, nah, I still think
undisputed.
he's too big for Usyk too.
Yeah.
Usyk's like shot. He's cagey. He's smart. He's a lefty. He punches like the good angles. You know what I mean? But Tyson Fury would catch up to him.
Mm,
He can't keep Tyson Fury off him. He's not that big of a puncher. I mean, he might be able to punch, yeah, but he's not a big heavyweight.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cruiserweight moving up.
What's that?
He's like a cruiserweight moving up, and he don't really
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah, pretty
the
much.
size like a
Yeah, exactly.
Holyfield. Like he's not no Holyfield either.
No, no, hell no, no. Not saying he's not a great fighter. No, he is a great fighter, but no,
Definitely.
no.
So you kind of
He's
fever,
too big for him.
yeah, too big.
Yeah, he's too strong, too big. And that's not against Usyk. He's a great fighter, probably future Hall of Famer. But uh,
Yeah,
then
that's
again,
where.
who the hell am I to say? I don't know.
Hey, I mean, like you said too, it's like that's a good little guy versus a good big guy. You know,
Yes, yes, yeah.
so it's a tough thing to really choose from. Um,
Right,
but nevertheless, right? Because and I can understand the matchup too. You got one that is based off of his footwork, then you got the other one that's based off of defensive sound off of his hips, leaning
right,
out, slipping. And kind of understands the game of when you what you're actually doing. So I
right.
definitely agree. Now, we got these big fights. Now, when we talk about like boxing today, what division really like is like, yo, I really like watching this division. Like what's the division you really like to watch?
I don't really go. Honestly, I'm not even. I don't even really think about the division. I just think about the fighters, basically themselves. And if they fall in a certain weight, that's fine. But I just think, you got great heavyweight fights coming. You know what I mean? That could happen. You got great welterweight fights that can happen. Junior welterweight fights that can happen. So I mean, I don't know if there's a weight class that I think is any better than the other. You know what I mean?
Who's your favorite prospect?
Uh, I don't. Uh, what's his name?
What weight class?
I like the Oscar Valdez until he obviously he's lost his last few fights, but I like that kid. You know what I mean? He was tough, and you know what I mean. I liked watching. I like watching him fight. But like I said though, I'm not watching boxing like every week or whatever. You know what I mean? So the big fights I'll watch or whatever. But
You ain't really watching prospects like that. You
yeah, pretty much.
you're
You know what I mean?
watching guys that are fully developed at
Yeah,
their
well, no,
prime.
yeah, well, it's like like I said, like when I retired, I don't even really watch boxing. You know what I mean? I do, but I don't because when you do something your whole life, and it's like being a carpenter where you can, but your whole career you do carpentry. Then when you retire from it, you're gonna start doing carpentry, watching it or whatever, and watch people work. I
Right.
don't know. I don't know if that sounds right.
Nah, I think it's also your personality. Like you a happy dude. You're not here to
Yeah.
criticize. The guys that like to criticize, they're the ones. They're the ones that really want to critique and talk shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not you.
Right? Yeah.
That's what it is, really. Um,
Right.
Talking about the lightweight division, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite divisions, the 135 with the Tanks, the Shakors, the Devin Haney's.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. And no, Tank Davis is one of my best fighters too. Tank Davis is a real deal, boy. Proved it.
The real deal, boy. So tell me, um, if he had to fight the likes of those other guys I just mentioned, the Haney's, the Shakors, do you think that he kind of gets their number?
Well, again, you're talking to. It's crazy because like that weight might be the best weight pound for pound in like the whole boxing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do
Because you
you do
got
you
those
got a
three
list?
guys.
Do you
What?
got like the Mickey Ward pound for pound list? Do you?
Um, I like Oh, my pound for pound. Wow. It's got Shakur Stevens got to be up there with
Ooh.
Tank with those three guys right there. You know what I mean? You
Mhm.
could be either way, and then you got then you got the Tyson Fury, and you got this Usyk. I mean, as a heavyweight, you got so many people that could be in the top 10 pound for pound. It's like wow, you know what I mean? And you wouldn't be wrong picking anybody. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because there are some great fighters right now, and hopefully these great fighters and good fighters fight the best. That's what will bring people back to the sport of boxing, where MMA took a lot of people like because they fight the best over there,
Mhm.
and people want to see. the best fight the best. You know what I mean?
True.
And so that's Dana does a great job, like doing that, and that's why UFC like sells everything out all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But in boxing, you could have great skills, but without the toughness, without the grit, it kind of goes away.
Oh yeah, if you don't got the grit and you ain't got like you might can have the skills all you want. If you get tapped in the chin or you're in a drag out rough fight and you ain't got the way wolves, forget
The
it.
Lambo. So tell me, like, now that we mentioned those three, you know, do you believe that that toughness, that grit is going to separate them from their skills when they have
What's
to
your core?
meet
What's your core? And
Shakur, Haney, and Tank?
you know, I think they all honestly it'd be so hard to pick because I think they all have it. Seriously. And that's funny because usually like there'll be like a really one really good boxer that doesn't have that or whatever. But in this case, I think all three have that. I think on any given day, either one could beat either one. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's like it's weird because they're like so. How do I say it? Like not the same, but they all have the same grit and sharpness to them and whatever. You know what I mean? That's pick 'em fights all day long. You know what I mean? Like with them three.
But say you're in a position, right,
Yeah.
that you have to bet. Like there's a gun to your face.
Oh,
You have to put some money on one of those guys.
shoot me.
It's like that. It's like
Hey,
that, Mickey.
I'll, put me out of my misery.
Oh shit. That's how tight it is, huh?
I think so. I mean, because like I said, any given like on a Monday of this month, Shakur could beat either one. On a Monday the next 2 months later, Javante could beat anyone. It's like I don't know. They're that good. They're that close and that good, which is very like nice to see. You know what I mean? Like for being a boxing fan, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Let's pick them all day long because I think just whoever's sharp and whoever's on, I think would probably win.
Right, right.
Because I don't think there's any like talent wise, like they all have talent. They all,
Not a big gap.
yeah, there's no, not a big gap on anything. Power, speed, this, that, whatever. You know what I mean?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's no power in power when it comes to Tank Davis?
Oh no, tank and punch, but those other guys are sharp and they're like they're right on. You know what I mean? That speed generates power, and those guys, and when you get either one of those other two, you know what I mean? They
Mm.
can hurt you too. Tank might have the harder, the bigger punch out of the three of them, but when you get blinded by a jab and that right hand pops over, speed generates power. You know what I mean?
If because like and you're 100% right because if you have speed, you're not going to see the combinations coming. You know.
Yeah, because you get hurt what you don't see, and if they blind you with a jab or whatever and pop you with that right hand, and I'm not saying that that would happen, but they do have power. Obviously, I don't think they have Tank's one power knockout, but hey, they can punch. They're just as good in other ways too, though. You know what I mean? You know?
You you did good on the Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor prediction. You went for Tio
Yeah.
while everybody was taking putting turning their back off of Tio. I
Right.
think
Yeah.
there's only a few people that asked for Tio. What did you see in that boy?
That he still had it. That he wanted it. That he's confident. He's confident. He lost to the Gambosis thing, but he recovered. It made him a better fighter. You know what I
Mm,
mean? It made him a better fighter mentally, physically. Because he knows that you can be beat at any time. You know what I mean? You gotta be ready. Not that he wasn't ready, but it made him a better fighter.
mhm.
Made him a
Yeah.
better person. The kid can fight.
I like
You
that you
know?
said that it made him a better person. this media stuff nowadays can really make you change who you are
Yeah,
for who you speak to in front of your dad to a guy like me on the media that want to show off and talk about, who you could beat and who you can't beat.
yeah,
So I feel like that's a great point that you made right there.
yeah.
Um,
He's a good guy. I mean, hey, even being a fighter, him being where he's at, up in the top, in the echelon of his weight class or whatever, champion, this, that. A lot of people throw trash at you and talk shit about you, and you're this, you're that. You know what I mean? You got to deal with all that, and you got to fight, and you got this, that, and he handles it. You know what I mean? Obviously, people get aggravated sometimes, and they blow up, and people don't like them and whatever. But the kid can fight, man. You know what I mean? And I think his dad loves him so much, and he says what he says because he believes it,
mhm,
and you can't knock that. You know what I mean?
mhm,
If you got a dad that says, "Well, I think my son might be able to win," then you shouldn't have him around you or in the corner or whatever. You know what I mean? He's confident, and you got to respect that.
right. What do you think? Like when I see you, when I talk to you, everybody calls you humble. I believe you're a very humble guy. I don't
Yeah,
think you ever gotten anything different, to be honest with you.
yeah.
You know, do you believe that the boxers back in the day were a little bit more humble than today's boxers?
No, you still have the humble guys. I mean, but then you got guys that are confident, and I think it's a difference of being cocky, arrogant, and confident. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
There's a lot of confident guys that back it up, and there's some guys that don't back it up that shouldn't talk crap. You know what I mean? But hey, if it works for you and you win, so be. But if
Hmm.
it don't work for you, what the hell? You look like an idiot. So what's the difference? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The other one that's got to live with being an ass, saying you're gonna beat this one, kill that one, and you get knocked out. Yeah, that's on you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Uh, KTM says, "My hero, Mickey Ward. Thank you for being an inspiration for decades." That's
Uh,
awesome.
KTM, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. A lot of people here. We got Mills Lane. Hopefully, he's from Mill City. Um, Ask Mickey who's the best light heavyweight he's seen.
The best light heavyweight I've ever seen, or of
Or
now.
today. I would probably give us both if you can.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard because there's so many great light heavyweights. You know, you got to remember Michael Spinks was a great light heavyweight. You know what I mean? People forget about Michael Spinks. At light heavyweight, he was unbeatable. You know, back
Thanks,
in the
brothers.
day, you had Dwight Quaima, whatever. You had Matthew Franklin, Matthew Sad Muhammad, his name would come. Tough guys like that. So I like those guys that were rough and like. There's a lot of great light heavyweights. Was Archie Moore a light heavyweight back?
Hachi Moore. Hachi Moore
He
was a light
heavyweight, but
heavyweight.
I was a light heavyweight too, wasn't he? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He started light heavy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great light heavyweights.
What about today?
Again, I don't like watching
We got
enough,
Bivol. We
honestly.
got we got Bivol and
Oh
Archer
yeah,
Better
him.
Beef.
Yeah, Bivol and Benavides. It's guaranteed between them two. I sorry, I forgot about them guys, but I was talking about all the lightweight guys. You know what I mean? But Bivol and Benavides, wow, that'd be an awesome fight.
Who
That would
would you
be an
favor in
awesome.
that fight?
Oh man,
That's tough, huh?
yeah, I ain't picking. Hell no. You ain't getting me.
I love
Nope.
it. I love it. I
Nope.
love it. Um, Talk to me, man. Like when it comes down to boxing today, a certain fighter that you say to yourself, um, I'm gonna make sure I watch his fight if he is gonna fight.
I like a Tyson Fury, like a Benavieve, like a Bivol, like a Terrence Crawford, like a Tank Davis, all those guys I was talking about, Shakur, them guys, all those guys. You know what I mean? There's so many guys out there like that I really like watching. You know what I mean? I watch anyone, whether they can fight. I mean, I'm not saying whether they can fight or not, but whether exciting, if they're exciting and they fight hard, and that shows a lot of grit. That shows, it takes a lot of, what to get in there. You know what I mean? And to, people don't understand it's a tough sport, and so that's why I like to watch who gives everything they have. You know what I mean? Like guys that just let it all go and they're not prima donnas.
Anybody that got a little of you, you're down to watch. You know what I'm saying? I see what you.
Yeah, yeah, not even so that just guys that like to fight. Yeah, I
The
guess.
grit, the grit.
Yeah, yeah, I guess.
He gives, I guess. Shout out to KTM for the $2. I guess he's a boxing coach, Mickey. He said
Oh, cool.
mandatory viewing for all my students and legendary nights. Thank you for the trilogy.
Thank you, buddy. It was great to go through with someone that I really became great friends with, and I'm glad it inspired some people. Hopefully,
Right. Mills Lanes goes and says, how would you fare against today's lightweights?
junior welterweights.
Yeah.
Um, who the hell knows? I don't know. Pretty good, I hope.
I
I'll tell you
hope
one thing. I go in here and fight my ass off. That's it.
that's a
That's
hundred
all you can
percent.
do.
That's 100%.
Whether I win or lose, well, who knows? But I'll leave everything in there.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Now talk to me like when it comes to the square circle, bro. Like, I know you did your fair training,
Mhm.
but is that something like you're not interested in? Like, you left the sport completely?
No, no, no. I still I'm still in my nephew's gym a couple days a week. We do a class up there on a Monday and Wednesday up at Box to Burn in Westford, Mass.
Yep.
I trained. I was down with the Mike Tyson thing back in Florida. In Florida back in like 2013 with Equinity Sports. There, I was doing that for a little bit. So I trained fighters. I trained my nephew and some fighters, whatever. But I just like right now. I'm not doing it right now, but yeah, I still train fighters.
Uh, you know, People say Mickey drops them all. Head body, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so like say like somebody comes from around your area and says, "Hey, I would want to like Mickey, can you train me full time? Like, I need you to train me full time, and it's a good little gig. Would you consider something like that?
Yeah, but it depends on the person. If you ain't gonna kill yourself in that gym and you ain't gonna bust your balls in that gym, see you later. I don't even want to because obviously you win the fight and the night of the fight, but and all the like the preparation, all the training, all of that. That's where you win the fight. And if you don't
Mhm.
want to work hard and you don't want to give it everything you have in that fight and in the gym, you shouldn't even do it. I'm not gonna do it with you. Hell no.
Give us like a little outlet of what a Mickey Ward training camp look like.
Just a lot of running, a lot of like drills. Like I think he had me doing a bunch of drills, bag drills, speed drills. I mean, I used to run like crazy. You know what I mean? That's what kept me in a lot of fights is my conditioning. Obviously, like I had a good chin or whatever, so I could take it. But you still don't want to get hit. But it was just the shape I was in that pulled me through a lot of fights because I really trained. I ran. Did a lot of sparring. I did a lot of bag work, a lot of mitt work, a lot of pads and stuff. Just the whole training thing. I killed myself in the gym.
Um, who's your favorite fighter, Mick?
I don't know. I like Tank's one of my favorite. Crawford's one of my favorite. Tyson Fury's one of my favorite. I have a few.
What about all time?
All time, I would say Ray Robinson.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah, yeah.
You liked about him?
The way he boxed, the way he punched. Yeah, that short left hook.
Had like 200 fights, huh?
Yeah, yeah, that's when you fought like almost every other week. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you didn't have to spy; you were fighting all the time. But I don't know. It's just looking back at those days. Like he fought like people fight today, and you didn't see that back then. You know how sharp he was, and He let his hands go, and he was like years above, ahead of everyone else. That's when he was like, when he stood around too long, and then he got beat. You know what I mean? But when he was like in his prime, nobody better.
Right, right. You know, you tell me, man. You're from Mill City, the same city I'm from, and
Yeah,
I have never had the boxing accolades that you had. I started in the gym that you started in. I've always looked up to you because your face was in the banner of Romalos.
oh yeah, yeah,
I remember you coming in with your nephew Dickie, and no Sean, sorry,
yeah.
and you coming into the gym, me working with Jose, Bugsy, and it was
Oh
just
yeah,
always
yeah,
a thing in the gym, at Romalos.
yeah,
But for a person to come from Mill City, for me anyway, doing the media, being blessed to talk to the people, legends like yourself, upcoming stars of the game today,
yeah.
I feel good about being able to chop it up with them like we're doing right now. But for
It's
you,
cool. That's because you're a nice guy. You just tell it as it is, and you're real, and you keep it easy. You know what I mean? You're not like, you know what I mean. You're just one of those guys that you just everything just flows with you. It's good.
I appreciate that. And happens to be I know a little something about boxing myself. But
Not that exactly. Yeah, you know what you're talking about. You're not someone that just watched it or never did it that doesn't understand or realize or they ask these crazy questions. You know what I mean? You get someone that never fought and he asks these questions like, "Oh, how's it feel to get hit in the face? Oh, really? How's it feel? Fucking hurts."
you don't remember your mom never smacked you in the ass? Like what's going on?
Yeah, yeah. I
uh,
don't literally mean that, but you know what I mean.
no,
Like
I feel you. I feel you.
stupid
I feel
stuff.
you.
You know what I mean?
But gearing up to that question that I was saying, like I feel cool to talk to all these people. But for you, you got skin in the game and you're known for this particularly. And how does it feel to be, really good friends with Mike Tyson? You're friends with my man, you're friends with everybody. I'm gonna be honest. But James Tony is real cool with you. I talk to
Yeah,
James Tony on a regular, and it's just like all these legendary fighters, bro. Like you have a skin in the game for the art that you loved, and people
yeah,
know you for that.
yeah. It's cool. When you sit back and look and realize that you got all these friends that are like the best fighters that ever lived, that respect you. It's pretty amazing. You know what I mean? I never look at it like that because I'm just like, I did what I did, but it is pretty amazing.
It is just coming from Mill City. It's
Yeah, yeah,
dope.
especially, yeah. Whoever thought kid from Lowell. Yeah,
100%, 100%. Now, my last question, Mick, because I don't want. I see that you got the TV on, and
yeah.
I
Thank
appreciate the
you.
time that you gave me so far.
Yeah,
But
no problem.
when it comes down to giving some words of wisdom to
Yeah.
upcoming fighters, people that want to get into the sport, um, just some words of wisdom, especially these young prospects that are entering their pro career. What would be some words of wisdom you would give them?
What it be? It would be honestly, be serious about what think about what you're getting yourself into. You gotta once you start and you're gonna do it for a living or whatever, you gotta be serious. It takes a lot. Takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of. It's gonna be a lot of ups and downs, a lot of hurt, a lot of not being satisfied at times. You gotta stick with it. It's not an easy sport to excel in. You know what I mean? Because there's so many fighters and stuff. But so my main thing would be just to give it your all. Don't ever cut any corners. Give it 150%, and just every time out, just leave that ring, knowing that you gave everything you possibly could. You have not an ounce of energy left in you, and you should be fine.
There you guys have it. It's the legendary Micky Ward. Um, my guy. Much love to you, my brother. Thank you
You
for
got it,
your
buddy.
time, and I will definitely double back real soon.
You got it, buddy.
God bless, my brother.
All right, you take care, my man.
You already know.
Bye bye.
Bye, brother. Press the X on the corner, Vic.
All right. Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta
All
end this
right.
segment. You know what I'm
Bye-bye.
saying? I gotta end it properly. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shoot. All right.
Well,
All
thank you
right.
guys. Thank you guys for chopping it up. It's Micky Ward. It's Mill City Boxing. You know, great guy. I'm telling you, man. He's from my area. He's watched me. You know, he's watched me grow in the boxing game, and then at the same time, you know, it's just cool to see someone from my area succeed the way he has. And like I said, I grew up, you know, in the gym, working out of my amateur career, and him being right by my side. I mean, he did my corner one time, so it's just a blessing to have guys like that in my corner that I could just hit up on the phone, hit him up on the phone number, and say, "Yo, Mickey, can we just chop it up, and let's do it for my channel?" You know, shout out to everybody on the channel. Shout out to all the blessings. Shout out to everyone that has, you know, gave me super chats, uh, tapping the like button, which is very, very, very important because we need to be able to get the visibility of the show to broaden it to more viewers. So if you guys don't mind smashing the like button, it would be very important for me. Mickey Ward was in my corner as an amateur boxer when I was 19 years old. KTM, yeah, he good guy. He wasn't my trainer, but my trainer that did my corner, I was in the Golden Gloves and I was fighting one of his fighters that he started with first. So normally, what a trainer does is whoever his fighter that he worked with first, he would go with him with the loyalty, of course. And Mickey happened to step in and say, "Hey, I'll do George's corner." You know, my name is George. His name is George, so we shared the same first name, and he was very cool. My trainer wasn't. I had two trainers. I had one that did my corner, and then I had one that I worked with that taught me the art. And the one that taught me the art was his name was Bugsy, um, an amazing trainer, and he was good friends with him, and he did me the favor to work my corner in the Golden Gloves finals. But I was definitely blessed for that. Um, why didn't you go pro, Tommy Grams? You know, I started boxing. Around I want to say uh 13 years old. um I stopped at 20 years old just to work. You know, I was a businessman. I owned a couple barbershops. I owned a nightclub. I was a nightclub promoter, and I just had to make money, to be honest with you. My trainer brought me into the house. I was homeless at one point in time, and boxing was a way to get myself out of trouble. I did it all through high school, a little bit through middle school, and yeah. Nevertheless, like I just turned those skills, and I just teach people around my neighborhood the art of what other people taught me. But I was a 13-1 amateur. Lost one time up in the finals. I was one fight away from fighting Demetrius Andres. In the New England's, and it was just a great experience all the way around. I was always in and out of the gym, but money had to come first at one point in time. So I continued to, live my dream as, becoming a business owner, and I did a lot for my city. I did a lot for my city. I brought businesses, artists. I put on a show when I was an amateur, and now I'm just giving back to my city, to all the kids that from Mill City, that want to learn how to box. So that's kind of my story of why I never really went pro. I was an athlete, played numerous of sports from football, basketball, baseball, and boxing was just one of those ones that you know um, I enjoyed the most due to the fact that it's just you and your opponent in there. You go in there for 30 seconds, and I love being in the gym. I love sparring. I loved the grit. I love the bags. I love the smell of the blood on the floor. Um, I love getting punched in the nose and knowing that you got to get your lick back. I appreciated the whole sport and I enjoyed it, and there's no other sport like it. And I will always forever be grateful. And I was lucky to have a trainer to be able to take me in when I was 16 years old, and he believed in me until I took my first L. And but regardless of the fact, I'm glad that even Mickey, was able just to realize to tell people, hey, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this boxing stuff because I've been there. It's not like any other boxing content creator. Not saying anything bad because I feel like some of the best boxers are not the best coaches, and it's cool to have a feeling of what it is to fight in front of 3,000 people. A packed arena. Uh, Mine was an auditorium at the time, so they left after I lost. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was. I was one of those guys that, when I was undefeated, I was the best 152 pounder in my gym, and you know, anybody, Edwin Rodriguez from Worcester, Massachusetts, was the former champion, and I remember him coming into the gym and then giving me a call like, yo, George, you got to come over here and spar. This dude Edwin Rodriguez is knocking everybody out. He's breaking noses or he's stopping people in the body. I need you in the gym right now to show him what's good. I was the best 152-pounder in my gym. And like I said, you know, um, I lost to somebody from Lynn, Massachusetts. I was 17 the last time I competed, and the guy when I was boxing around 2007, 2008, when I was competing for the Golden Gloves. I mean, I competed in the Golden Gloves probably like 4 years in a row, and what happened was is that there was no age brackets like the way are now. Now there's age brackets. Back then, there was no age brackets. So you could be 16, 17 years old fighting a 30-year-old, 28-year-old. So it is what it is. I think they should bring it back like that. But, there's reasons why they're doing that now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm blessed. Like I said, that's my story of reasons why I came into boxing. A lot of people were wondering, like, where did this Mill City guy come from? And that's where I came from. I came from an actual uh, amateur background of boxing, and I brought it into media. Sometimes you go into boxing that you start training kids, and they love the sport. The next thing you know, they decide to leave the sport for whatever reason. It could be a girlfriend, it could be a job, just like myself, um, and it kind of hurts the trainer. But with the platform of YouTube, and to be able to bring light to boxers and stuff like that, I just feel like you guys won't leave me. I mean, yeah, you guys can go to a different channel anytime you want, and you guys can come back. This is the real right here. You know what I'm saying? So no matter if you're getting dope content for somebody that knows what they're talking about, but in the same time, you guys get high level interviews from legends, and you get them from the TV prospects and contenders of today. I love the sport. And I feel like also this YouTube channel is a way for me to give back to the community of boxing. So I mean, I feel like I'm dipping into something that I love to do, and I'm going to continue it. I'm blessed to have a girlfriend that lets me express myself and gives me the leeway to spend enough time to do this. And it happens to be that it's a career path for me. And like Mickey said, I'm a cool dude, honest dude, real dude that continues to, like I said, keep giving great content and stuff like that. Um, but I appreciate everybody on the live that has tapped in. Please smash the like button if you like my story, and the interview, of course, with Mickey. I thought it was a dope. I'll definitely be having Mickey at least once or twice a month, just to give back and stuff like that. I mean, I don't like to bother him too much. I like to, have a couple fights that have gone by so he can give predictions and stuff like that. And I feel like that's something that I'm giving light to Mickey as well, because, there's people in this chat that are asking, yo, who is Micky Ward? Who is Micky Ward? Well, after this segment, ladies and gentlemen, go on YouTube and type in Micky Ward, and you guys will know who he is. And then also, the movie The Fighter, Mark Wahlberg plays Micky Ward. And in the same time, he had a cool little story about that. He had 3 fights with Arturo Gatti that are fight of the decade, and puts him in a different pedestal. I mean, we don't talk about the money stuff, but every time they play that on Top Rank or whatever, Mickey getting a little check. This is, and he deserves it as well. Put a lot of hard work and grit to be where he's at today. And like I said, um, this is Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media. You guys are always more than welcome to tap in, ask me any questions that you believe in, and I'm here to answer them as well. You know what I'm saying? Get into some of these questions. KTM, by the way, I appreciate the $2 on the super chat, and definitely have great success and continue to give back to the students. I see that you're a boxing coach, what you say. So God bless to that as well. Keep up the great work, champ. Content has been off the hook. Appreciate it. How do you see if he'll give me one lesson, man? I'd fly up to Massachusetts just for that. I'm pretty sure he would definitely do that due to the fact that his nephew owns a gym. I think it's in Tewksbury. Babe, where's Box to Burn? It's in Tewksbury? Chelmsford. So it's Chelmsford, Massachusetts, Box to Burn. Um, his nephew owns the place, so he's there. I think Tuesdays and Thursdays. He also works a regular job still, but if you decide to want to come back, come over here, and I could probably organize a session for you. If you really want to do that, KTM. You know what I'm saying? Much love to the people that tapped in as well. I'm about to get out of here. I got to set something up with my girlfriend. I got to also throw some more content. Make sure you guys check out the content I just posted up. 4 dope pieces. Definitely check it out. Um, I check in for the next live show. Um, for the next live show, him. That would be amazing. Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, I try to go live as much as I can. Tomorrow we were supposed to do something with Bozy, but like I said, I'm gonna be busy, and if I can get on again tonight, I'll probably will with a new guest, depending on my time schedule. But make sure you guys check out the last 4 posts that I put up. I got one with Keith. The first one is with Keith Thurman, talking about that he would fight Jerron Boots Ennis if he signed the contract. Let me know what you guys think on the comment box right now about that fight. Keith Thurman and Jerron Boots Ennis. I think that's a great matchup. I think that, Jerron Boots Ennis probably will edge that fight out with the youth, the experience, the talent. He's a great talent, punches really hard. I think that he'll probably take that win, but a great, great, great fight for the resume. Like, it's an amazing fight for the resume. Boots smokes him. I definitely believe that, it could happen. But remember, Boots has been fighting certain styles, come forward fighters, nobody that can really move around in the ring. It could be a task, So I do believe that, you know, Thurman is still Thurman. Thurman might not have that one punch knockout power, that he used to have, quote unquote, the one time. But in the same time, he has the skills, he has the footwork, and he has the pedigree to be able to last. So it still would be a great it would be a great fight for both fighters, to be honest with you. The layoff with Keith Thurman is not helping his career whatsoever, especially being 34 years old. But in the same time, you got Jerron Boots Ennis that hasn't have anybody like that, a former champion, on his resume. That's a real welterweight guy. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy that, if you want to talk about measuring sticks when it comes to wanting to fight with Terrence Crawford, well, let me tell you one thing. Terrence Crawford, who did he beat? He beat Sean Porter, right? He beat Spence, right? And then, when it comes down to Spence, Spence beat Sean Porter and he beat Danny Garcia. Well, guess what? When it comes to Spence's resume, uh, that would make a fighter that Boots has. If he beats Keith Thurman, he beat 2 of the biggest fights that Spence fought, that won, which is the Sean Porter fight and the Danny Garcia fight. Well, guess what? Boots Ennis on a resume for Keith for Boots, Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman beat both of those guys, Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. So it would be great for that to be on the resume of Boots Ennis. So I really believe I'm pushing for that fight. I want that fight to happen for both fighters. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman just got a kid right now. You know what I'm saying? He said he wants to fight till 40. You know what that means? He's a big gambler. I know that. I know certain things about him. I'm cool with his coach. So I feel like he needs a big fight, a money fight. And I also believe that Jerome Boots Ennis needs a money fight, but he needs a name. So I think it's something that would be good. Would be Ennis's toughest challenge to date? It definitely would be. You know what I mean? We have to admit that would be definitely the toughest task for Ennis for today. And to be honest with you, might be one of the toughest challenges for Keith Thurman as well. We got to see if Jerome Boots Ennis is all hype or he is who he says he is. He is who the Philadelphian fan base believes in him. I think he has the goods. He passes the eye test. He got a great power. I hear crazy gym stories about him. People are not going to mention these gym stories if they're not real. They're real. Smash the like button if you like what I'm saying right here, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. Um, I will leave this live right now if I don't get 20 likes in 1 minute. I need it in 1 minute. You know what I mean? I need 20 likes and I'll stay on. You know what I mean? I need the support for the channel. And I appreciate the people that have supported and smashed that like button. Smash that like button like if you would smash your girlfriend on a Friday night. What is it? Today's what? Today's Today's Thursday, right? Today's Thursday. Well, Thursday smash. You know what I'm saying? Um, Letting everybody know this is Millcity Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media. We got 18 likes on the live. Make sure we get it to 20 before we leave. If I can't get 19, we got 19. 19 in the building. We got 19. Just one more. I might stick around for a little bit longer. If not, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. What's going on, Teach? What's going on, man? What's going on? 20 likes. I'll stay in for 5 more minutes. Um, Gotta run, champ. We'll be in touch about them lessons with Mickey. Absolutely, man. Stay in touch with me with that. And I'll organize that session for you. You know what I'm saying? More than welcome. More than welcome to help anybody. You know what I'm saying? With If you have another account, do it. Teach you in the building. I love you, bro. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the 21 likes. I do. So talk to me, man. I talked to Frank Martin yesterday. He told me that the situation with him and Shakur Stevenson is still in the works. So the purse bid is out the picture, which is a good thing. So we already know that they're pursuing the fight, top rank at that, which is great because we're gonna get a free fight, which is important. And then in the same time, I do believe it's gonna be in New York City, so I'm gonna be in the building getting all the hot content. I'm cool with so many top ranked fighters. It's not even funny. But in the same token, um, the fight indeed, we still gotta get negotiations done when it comes to purse. Frank Martin needs to get the money situation set up, and then we will do an interview right here on Mill City Boxing on YouTube live, so you guys can enjoy that live. It'll be a dope live, I believe. Um, Frank Martin, another southpaw, Shakur Stevenson, definitely on the pound for pound list. Um, Biggest fight for both guys' career, I believe. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that interview. As soon as he gets that phone call of saying, yo, listen, your money is good, when they get that interview. And I told Frank, I need that first interview. I do not want to see no platform with the interview before me because you guys deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys show the support when that happens. Much love to everybody. I definitely appreciate you. I'm going to stick for 2 more minutes due to the fact that we got some of these likes up. But I might stick around a little longer if we can get 30 likes. So let's push the likes up. Let's push the algorithm up. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tapping in. You guys could be doing anything right now, but you're out here chopping it up with me. So that's much love. Other fights, indeed. Yo, bro, you need Keyshawn Davis interview. Trust me, bro, it's on the works. I'm actually going to be interviewing this weekend. I'm going to be out camping with the lady. So you guys probably ain't going to see no interviews for this weekend. But back to Monday. We're back at work. We're going to get Keyshawn's brother first. Then we're gonna get Keyshawn, Calvin Davis first because I got his phone number. Then Keyshawn after that. We're gonna talk about how you feel about Mo Bomat, getting arrested. Do you, and I think that's a tough situation for these young prospects. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe they believe in their coach. You have a coach that believes in you. The coach believes in you back. So I think that's a tough situation for Keyshawn. But I think they're gonna get through it. They'll probably put him in there with somebody that he's supposed to beat still. So nevertheless, Keyshawn Davis definitely a great prospect. Do you guys believe that Frank Martin should be fighting Keyshawn Davis instead of Shakur Stevenson? That's a question for you guys on the chat. Do you guys believe that, or do you think that the Shakur Stevenson fight is just perfect? You know what I'm saying? Teach. Why does um, the purse split have to be the center of attention for most channels? If they sit, if the if the sit is 70-30 Shakur, the channel that hates Shakur will speak on it very pretty. Now, well, the cool thing about this situation is that there's no splitting of there's no back end. There's not a pay-per-view event. So there won't be a percentage, you know what I'm saying? Top Rank will be paying for the fight. Um, they're agreeing, obviously they got a situation with so no, it's not per split, it's per bid. You know what I'm saying? So all the companies will bid on the fight, and they didn't need to bid on the fight because Top Rank put in an offer, and PBC said, "Hey, you could take Frank Martin." So we don't really know the situation on PBC and Frank Martin. Kind of weird, but not really because it kind of puts him in a title fight. You know what I'm saying? So and also puts him in the ESPN platform. So he'll come back to PBC more popular, more eyes, more fans. That's how I look at it. And like I said before, if Frank Martin can lose, if he could win 3 rounds, 4 rounds, that's a win in my book. Because if I concern, you know what I'm saying, like Shakur Stevenson has lost a round in boxing yet. Maybe in the amateurs, but not that many. You know what I'm saying? So there's not going to be a purse. It's not about the percentages on this fight. Obviously, we know that Shakur Stevenson will be getting paid more money than Frank Martin, and it's not a percentage game. It's a straight pay. You know, Frank Martin's trying to figure out what he's going to get paid. He's not going to get paid any more or any less. They just got to put it on the paper, see what it is. So all that information will be out in the public eye. Once that's all set. I don't know. I mean, he's not $1 million fighter yet. Maybe he might get his first mil. Maybe they're aiming for a mil. Um, to fight Shakur Stevenson. I mean, I remember I don't really like talking numbers about other people's purses, but some of the fighters they let me in on certain things. You know what I'm saying? I could say 6 figures. That's what I'm gonna say. It's 6 figures, and he's just trying to get his biggest payday if he's gonna take a 50-50 fight, or in most people's eyes, it's not a 50-50 fight. A lot of people believe that it's more of a 60-40. Some people even think it's more like a 70-30. I think Frank Martin believes that he can win this fight, and we just got to see what it's going to be. It's going to be in December, or you know what I'm saying? It's going to be in November or December. That's all we really got to figure out, and if it's going to happen in New York or Vegas. But much love to everybody on the chat. I definitely appreciate you guys chopping it up with me. Much love. God bless, and on to the next.